Hi everyone, and welcome back to Optimize FPL. We're just going to go through my team, how it did last week, the transfers I've made, and what I'm looking for in game week 4. So let's get into it. Starting off in net, we've got Sanchez. It was a hard game against Everton. I wasn't expecting anything from him. It's unfortunate that he conceded twice, but what are you expecting? It's Everton. They're a good team. Calvert-Lewin, Gray on fire right now. Gray, someone I'm definitely keeping an eye on. But yeah, Sanchez got his goal or got his extra points for the saves, but lost 2 points because of the goals. So a bit unfortunate, but not too surprised. Wasn't expecting too much from him against Everton. Let's move on to the defense. Starting off in defense, Trent Alexander-Arnold did a very similar thing to what Shaw did last week. Got 2 bonus points without keeping a clean sheet, which is always nice to see. It would have been nice for him to get a return. He was quite attacking in the game against Chelsea. But yeah, the second they went down, or the second that Chelsea went down to 10 men, it made it a lot easier for Trent to get forward. So it's not going to be as easy for him in future games, but he did create a lot of big chances, and I think against a lot of weaker teams, he's going to do well. Especially next week and the next following weeks, I think he's going to do really well because he's got a lot of weak teams that he's up against. Up next, in the bright spot in our defense, is Luke Shaw. He was the only one that got a clean sheet against Wolves. That game really could have gone Wolves' way. It seemed like there was a lot of opportunities from the score. David De Gea having an absolute masterclass in that, like always. I mean, it seems like he's back to his prime form again, so that'll definitely sharpen up the Manchester United defense, especially with Varane back there as well. He actually got the full 3 points that game for the bonus points. But yeah, I can just see that Man United defense getting more solidified, which is really nice to see. And with Ronaldo coming in, I think Shaw in the future is going to be a really good player. But yeah, let's move on to the next player. Livermento's first game in is an unfortunate 1 point against Newcastle, which I do not love to see. He was the one I thought that actually had the most chance of getting the most points in this defense, and he was the one that got the least amount of points. Newcastle scored 2 goals to tie the game up. Very last minute goal by Saint Alex Maximan, and then Southampton went up the other way and scored a penalty from Ward-Prowse. Livramento seemed to be pretty attacking that game. I'm hoping that he gets to start again. There's a lot of competition in the right and left back spots for Southampton. I'm just hoping that Livramento can nail down a spot. It seems like he's got a good spot in right back, but Walker-Peters and Perud are both definitely decent defenders, and I'm worried that he might lose a spot, but let's hope that he doesn't. Moving on to our midfield, we've got Mohamed Salah. Very, very lucky, in my opinion, to get a return. It was great for us, though. He got a goal, got all 3 bonus points, got the 90 minutes, was fantastic for us. But I just think that he is quite fortunate to get some points against Chelsea, because that Reece James moment that led to the penalty was just very silly. The penalty was absolutely deserved, no question about it in my mind. The red card, a bit harsh in my opinion, but it is what it is. Salah getting the points, that's all that matters, and let's hope he can continue into the future. Next up in our team is our vice captain, Fernandez. Didn't do much in the game against Wolves, got a yellow card, kept a clean sheet. Nothing to write home about, just average performance from the Portuguese. Yeah. Up next, and the last of our Manchester United players, is Greenwood. Greenwood getting us the only goal in the Manchester United Wolves game, and still not getting any bonus points. 3 different Manchester United defenders got bonus points, and it wasn't Shaw, and it wasn't the goal scorer that got the points, which is a little bit frustrating. But we're just happy that Greenwood and Shaw were both able to put up some points. Greenwood 3 games in a row scoring goals. You love to see that. Let's hope we can continue that. I'm not too worried about his place in the near future, in like the short term at least, in the next like 3 or 4 games. But in the long term, when Rashford gets back and Cavani's back to fitness and Sancho is showing form, I think Greenwood's gonna have a tough time keeping his place down. But yeah, I'm hoping that he can hold it down for just a little bit longer. The last of our midfield quattro is Rafinha. Only 2 points against Burnley. Just basically played the game, didn't get any returns, no bonus points. Patrick Bamford and Wood with the goals in that game. He was lively. I think he could have scored a goal, or got an assist, but it wasn't meant to be, clearly. Let's hope that he can maybe get some returns in the future, in the next future games. Leeds fixtures after game week 4 are looking really good. So as long as he's able to play in game week 4, I think that it's going to look really good in the future to keep him. And he's a long-term hold for sure. Moving on to our forwards is Danny Ings. Ings just keeps getting points. I'm loving to see it. 3 weak teams. He was able to get 2 goals and an assist in those 3 games. And yeah, just, it's good enough. That's all I really want from him. He's done what he needed to do in the 3 games I've had him. He's got me some points. Played all 90 minutes in all the games, and yeah, hopefully I can bring him back sometime in the future, because I don't think I want to keep him for any further. The next 4 game weeks are absolutely terrible for Aston Villa, and Danny Ings has definitely been outperforming his XG, so I don't really want to keep someone that keeps outperforming their expected goals, even if they are a clinical finisher. It's just a little bit too worrying for me. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit when we look at the transfers. But Danny Ings, 4 points, fantastic to see, and yeah, happy he got a return. Next up for our forward line, and the main man, Antonio. Man, this guy has been on fire. I'm so happy I was able to captain him last week. Got a goal and assist, played the 90 minutes, got 2 bonus points, played his absolute heart out, and it's just unbelievable value. He's been so good. Just keeps rising in price, just over 50% selected. The guy is just on absolute fire, and West Ham's games don't look too bad for the near future. They got Manchester United next week, game week 5. So not next week, but like the week after. And other than that, they don't have anybody really too hard coming up. I think that Antonio is definitely a long-term hold. I'm so happy I decided to captain him instead of Hernandez. It was really a last-minute decision for me, and I'm really happy I got the right one, because yeah, that was he was just been incredible at that game, and I think he can continue that form. He's been absolutely unreal. So let's hope he can continue that form. Come on, Antonio. The last of our forward line is Callum Wilson. Again, love to see that he got his goal. Got the bonus points as well. Got all 3 bonus points. Surprising considering it was a 2-2 game. But, that's good enough for me. I'd love to see that he gets the goals and gets the bonus points. Only played 70 minutes, and it looks like he's got a hamstring injury. It looks like he's also ruled out for next week, which is very unfortunate, because I would have liked to keep him, because Newcastle's fixtures after next week are really good. But if he's injured next week, he's going to be injured for the week after, it sounds like. It's just not worth holding him for 2 weeks. He's worth too much, and it's just time to let him go. Nothing really changed on the bench. We got Foster, Ayling, Amarte, and Brownhill. It was a last-minute decision for me to play Livramento over Ayling, but it's only a 1-point difference. That's not going to haunt me, so it is what it is. Nothing too upsetting there, at least. So the predicted score for this team was going to be 57.4. My own prediction for the team, I believe, was 50, or somewhere around there. It was like 50 or 52. So I was definitely thinking that this team was going to underperform this week, but to my great surprise, we've got a game week score of 70 points. Very good. I think that beat the average by about 15 points, roughly. I think it was 55 points was the weekly average. So great to see that I'm going to be rising the ranks again. And yeah, just happy to see that we got some great points this week. Overperforming the predicted score again. I don't know how much longer this team can really keep outperforming the predicted scores. It's been 3 weeks now, and it's outperformed it by like 15 points each time. So let's see if they can do it one more time next week. Overall score, we're leaving us at 256 points, a very decent start for the first 3 game weeks, and leaving us with an overall rank of 46,946. Great start to the season, and I would love to keep that up. Let's move on to the transfers. So, as we can see by the 3 arrows, I have made 3 transfers this week. I was only planning on doing 2, but as we can tell from what I was talking about earlier with Wilson, he was injured, and I made 2 early transfers, very, very early transfers that have haunted me since I've done them, but there's no going back, and I'm not too upset with them. I still think they're good transfers. It's just I did them a little bit too early because I was worried about price rises, and I got flustered into a decision that I probably shouldn't have done. But we've got the players, and I'm looking forward to the game week. So let's look at who we've transferred in. So starting off with the first transfer, we all know this. It's going to be Wilson, and I've taken him out for Jimenez. So The reason for this is just that it's a very one-for-one swap. Jimenez has fantastic fixtures coming up. The next five game weeks are great for Wolves. They've got Watford, they've got Brentford, Southampton, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Leeds, Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Norwich, Burnley. All of these are fantastic teams to play for a forward. Maybe Villa could be a bad team just because Martinez and the defense is pretty good, but at the end of last season, Villa really had a pretty average defense. So I think that this is a good transfer. I think Jimenez can really get me some points here, and I think that Wolves eventually have to score. Their XG is almost unbelievable at this point. I think it was like an XG of like five or something like that, and they have 0 goals so far. So eventually they're going to score, and I think that Jimenez is going to be the man that's going to be scoring the goal. So yeah, that's why I made that transfer. The other transfer I made, this is the one I made in before, was Fernandez out for Jota. And that was to make room for my other transfer that I'll show in a minute. But yeah, I thought that Jota was a good person to bring in just because Firmino seems to be injured. So if Jota's going to be getting some more playing time, that's fantastic for us. And yeah, I took Fernandez out because of Ronaldo coming in. Ronaldo coming in just makes it me less happy to have Fernandez. He's not on penalties anymore, and half of Bruno's goals last season came from penalties, so it makes me very hesitant. I know there's the obvious potential for more assists because Ronaldo's going to be getting more points or more goals, but I just think that he's not worth the 12 million that he's priced at. So I think dropping him down to Jota to bring in my forward is just the best option. And the early transfer I made to get Lukaku was Ings out. I saw Lukaku's price rising. I wanted to get on the train before he started moving up in price. So I made this transfer about 2 weeks ago, almost right after the Sunday games were over, and it's been haunting me ever since because I really think that I should have gone Ronaldo. It seems like he's going to be starting in next game week, and I just think that Ronaldo against Newcastle, first game back at Old Trafford, it's just something that I think he's definitely going to score. I think he's definitely going to score, and I'm going to be left, not necessarily in the dust, but it's definitely not going to help my overall rank, that's for sure. But we've got Ings out. Did his job, 3 game weeks, 3 returns, in and out. Thanks for the business. And now we got Lukaku in. I think that Lukaku can do well against Aston Villa. They don't have Emi Martinez. They don't have Buendia. I believe that Konza was injured. It's a weak back line, and it's a weak attack that's going to make it easier for the fullbacks from Chelsea to be able to attack, which then will be able to get more crosses into Lukaku. No Konza there, which can make it a little bit easier. I know Mings is still a fantastic defender, but he can't be locked onto Lukaku the whole game just by himself. He's got to have another defender there. And yeah, I just see Aston Villa's defense just very, very weak this game week. So I thought that Lukaku would be a great person to bring in, and yeah, I think that it's going to work out in the end. Maybe next week with my 1 free transfer, I'll bring Lukaku out and bring Ronaldo in. It's something that I'm really considering, but we'll have to see. I don't know. Okay, let's look on to the next game week. Okay, game week 4. Let's look at it. We got Brighton Sanchez in net against Brentford. I could definitely see a clean sheet here. I think that Brighton can definitely keep a clean sheet. They've kept one already, one for 3. Yeah, they're 1 for 3 in clean sheets so far this season. I think that they can keep another one here. I think going 2 for 4 would be a great start to their season, and I think that they can do it. So I'm hoping that they can. At least, if not, Brentford do take a lot of shots. So I'm hoping that he can at least get 3 points or three saves and get a point. Next up, we got Trent Alexander-Arnold playing against Leeds. Again, I think that he can do quite well against Leeds. Leeds are very attacking, so I'm not sure exactly what Liverpool's plan is going to be, because if Trent is wanted to be bombing up the wing and Leeds are just attacking all over the place, he's going to need to be defending a lot more. But I'm hoping that he can still get up the field quite a bit and get some crosses in. Hopefully get on Jota or Salah's head, and that would be happy days for us here. And now we've got Luke Shaw up against Newcastle. Without Callum Wilson, I'm definitely seeing a magical Manchester United clean sheet in our future. I just don't see who is going to score for Newcastle. Saint-Maximin, maybe. He's been playing really well, but I just think that his link up with Callum Wilson is really important, and I just don't see see a Newcastle goal. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that from the three players that I've shown so far, I really do think that there can be a clean sheet here, or clean sheets for all of them. Last up is Liverpool at West Ham at home. I'm not seeing a clean sheet here. I think Southampton's defense is super weak, and I just think that he's probably going to concede a goal. I'm hoping that he can maybe get a return up the field, maybe an assist to Adams or to Armstrong. I think either of them could definitely get a goal against West Ham, because I think West Ham's defense is actually quite weak as well. But I just think that West Ham, their attack has just been unreal. Antonio, Fornals, Benrahma, and Bowen have been on fire, especially Benrahma and Antonio. Even Fornals actually has been unreal as well. I think that there's just going to be way too much firepower for West Ham or for Southampton. I just don't see a clean sheet. But I think some attacking returns is definitely possible, assuming he gets to start. Up next, and our vice captain for the game week is Salah. He's playing Leeds. Leeds, their record against top 6 teams is actually quite good, and Salah hasn't had that great of a time against them, other than the one time. He's only played them twice, and he's gotten a hat-trick in one game and no goals in the other game. I'm just a little bit worried. I think Leeds have definitely strengthened their back. I know their game against Manchester United would lead everyone to believe that it's the opposite of that, but it seems like they've strengthened their defense, and I think that Salah definitely can get some goals in this game. I think he's probably going to get some goals in this game, but I just think that I think there are better options in the team, and I think that Salah, vice captain, is still a good shout. Next up, we have Jota. With Firmino's injury looking more long-term than first anticipated, I think that he's going to be a fantastic choice. I mean, unless they're going to bring in Origi to play up at striker, I think Jota's place in the squad is going to be a lot more nailed down, which is fantastic for us, because having him nailed down is really important, and at his price point, he's a fantastic player. I could definitely see him getting some goals against Leeds. I'm thinking that front three of Liverpool is looking dangerous, and I'm thinking that that Leeds are going to have a rough time against them. Next up, we've got Greenwood. Newcastle at home as well as Shaw. Again, I could see some goals here with Ronaldo in. I could see Greenwood hopefully getting some assists to Ronaldo, is what I'm looking for. Or maybe Greenwood just keeps up his goals. I mean, he's already got 3 and 3. Why not make it 4 and 4? I think it's a bit unrealistic to keep asking for all these goals from Greenwood. He's been definitely propping up our team's points over the last few games, but I mean, he's just really good. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I just hope that he can keep up these goals. I think he can. I really think he can get 4 and 4. Newcastle at home. Newcastle, I just think, are a really weak team, and I think they're there for the taking. Especially without Callum Wilson up top, they're gonna have nothing to attack with, so they're not gonna be able to like kick the ball up and like relieve pressure from the defenses easily. And that's something that I think that Greenwood and Manchester United can definitely take advantage of. The last player of our midfield 4 is Rafinha against Liverpool at home. I am expecting absolutely nothing other than a solid 2 points from this guy. I think Liverpool's defense is just too good, and I'm just worried that I just don't think that Leeds are going to be able to score any goals. And if they are going to score any goals, I'm honestly thinking that they're more likely to come from Bamford than they are from Rafinha. I think it's more likely that maybe Rafinha would run into the box, dribble around, and maybe get tackled, and then maybe a penalty would come from that, and he'd get an assist that way. That's really the only way I can see them getting a goal. I just think that as long as the Brazilian players are allowed to play, I think that Alisson in net with Matip and Van Dijk in defense, I just don't see them getting that many goals or that many chances. So yeah, I'm just expecting a nice 2 points, and I'm not too upset with that. I think that he can do it. The first of our forwards and our captain this week is Lukaku. Still, I'm not sure if I'm upset or not about the idea that I could have captained Ronaldo against Newcastle, but I think that Lukaku against Chelsea is an equally exciting opportunity. Aston Villa have no Emi Martinez, they have no Konza, they have no Buendia, they have their defense has been weak, or not weak, but just definitely underperforming since the second half of last season, and I'm hoping that they can continue to keep underperforming. I think Chelsea have looked fantastic in attack. Lukaku, Havertz, even Werner have been playing very well, and I think that Lukaku can get some points here. I really do see him if I had to make a prediction, I could see him getting a brace. I can see him scoring 2 goals. I just think that that's how dominant he is in these type of games. He does like scoring against lots of weaker opposition, and I think that he's gonna have a really good game week. I'm really excited about the proposition of watching Lukaku play that Everton defense without, or not Everton, sorry, Aston Villa defense without their main goalie in net, which is something that I'm quite excited to see. Up next, we've got Antonio, Southampton away. Southampton's defense looking very weak in my opinion. I'm hoping that he doesn't go too goal crazy. I mean, obviously, I would prefer the goals because it'd be good for me, but it'd be very bad for Livramento. I don't want to see any negative points in this team. But yeah, I just think Antonio, just him and Ben Rama and Fornals, like I said earlier, just unreal. I definitely seen some goals in this game, and I'm seeing them coming from Antonio. The final player in our team is Jimenez against Watford away. Like I said earlier, got fantastic fixtures for like the next 10. 7.4 price point right now, so he's actually gone down in value since the start of the season. I think that if he can get some goals, he can start rising very, very quickly, especially with the games that he's got coming up. I think I'm getting in early, which I'm really excited about, and I can just see him getting a lot of returns. I'm just hoping that Newcastle can start finding Wolves can start finding their form. That's just what I need from Jimenez this week, is just for him to start finding his form again from before the injury. I know it's not easy coming back from a head injury like that. I can't even really fully imagine how hard it is. But yeah, I got faith in him, and I hope he has faith in himself. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that we can get some points here. For the bench, it's actually not in this order. It's Brownhill, then Amarte, and then Ayling. I think that if Rafinha doesn't play for some reason, and there is that Brazilian ban, and they take away Rafinha's chance to play, I think that Brownhill is a good replacement. I'm hoping they can get a solid. I'm basically expecting 2 points from either of them. Brownhill against Everton, probably 2 points. Rafinha against Liverpool, probably 2 points. So I'm really not expecting too much difference from those two. It's more the defense I'm worried about. If Livramento is not starting, I think I prefer Amarte against Man City. I know that sounds crazy, but Ayling against Liverpool, I don't see either of them keeping a clean sheet. And I know City can score from anywhere, but I think that Leeds are going to get hurt more than Leicester is against City. I don't know why. That's just a gut feeling. They could really go either way. Both are bad. So let's hope Livramento starts the next game. The predicted score for this week is 62.2. If we take into account the fact that I take a -4 to bring it, it's only like a 58.2. Not great, better than last week, even with the -4. So we'll see how we can do there. Yeah, my personal prediction for this team is 70. I think if Lukaku can get a lot of goals, I think Salah and Jota can get goals. I see Greenwood getting goals. Like I could really see like 5 to 6 goals in this starting 7 up top. And just with that, like Greenwood, Jimenez, Antonio, like they have such great fixtures this week. I just don't see them not getting goals. Yeah, and then the defense, fantastic fixtures other than Livramento. Shaw against Newcastle, like there's so many that I can see at least 2 out of the 3 of them keeping clean sheets. I'm really hoping for that. So yeah, that's why I predicted 70 points. I feel like I'm being very optimistic with that. That's with the -4 as well, so I'm actually predicting more like 74 points. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's what I'm expecting. The overall score didn't change, neither did the overall rank. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you for taking the time to listen. And if you have any questions about my decision making or anything about that, please leave them in the comments down below. And feel free to subscribe if you want to keep watching along. Thanks for watching, and cheers, everybody.